Yo, so here, Nintendo Switch sporting a customized ipega arcade stick, right? I have here a whole bunch of cover art of my boy Spawn, Al Simmons, right? And as you see, I mean, for those who follow my channel or even see me on Instagram and Facebook, I've been doing the arcade stand. I've been doing this particular stand for over 5 years. Sold at close to 2,000 units. Thank you guys for your support. And that's including using the PXN arcade stick here, integrated, as well as things like this that use the Nyko arcade stick with the little button that goes on to the the control stick that goes into the Joy-Con to get this in. This was a design that I did only a few of these, so those who got it, cool. Those who don't, is what it is. So I ended up selling this size with the Nyko inserts in it. Unfortunately, Nyko does not make this anymore. It's actually towards the end of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle. So we're all looking forward to the next announcement of the new Nintendo Switch. Well, hopefully it's another hybrid system. But here's the latest addition to that. So let me just spin this around. So this is the ipega. Like I said, I just did some custom work to it to showcase my boy Al Simmons. This is all hot glued into this base here. Nintendo Switch comes out in and out very easily, just like all the rest of most of the arcade sticks. It's powered by the Nintendo Switch. This is like a D-pad only, so any analog games will not work with this. But this was meant for some of the basic running gun shooting games, and a lot of the arcade classics. There are some third-party titles and some first-party titles that this can mess with, but this particular configuration is not going to be compatible with all games. All right. So this was just a cool little addition. I purposely did not fully set it in all the way, only because this is a very small arcade stick, not as big as the PXN. So this is very small. Look at my hand. My hand covers damn near the whole thing. So I gave it a little lip, so kind of have some side palm rest to go inside there, and also kind of give it a little stylistic flair to it. I could have easily dug it out to make it flush, but I figured this is kind of where I want to be with this. So anybody who builds arcades and has one of these ipega joints, this is something that you can pretty much do. I know some people ask, hey, when I showcase stuff like this, can I make more of these? They don't make these anymore, and these were like about $7 to $12 back in the days. Now they're like $25, $35. I think it's overpriced, and for me it won't be cost effective to make a whole bunch of these. Now I can make this stand, and if you have your own ipega arcade stick, I can build one of these, and if you want to just insert your own, sure, I can rock with that. But as for me making this selling with the ipega, it's not cost effective. For me to make this price cheaper and for me to make a decent profit from it, it's not going to work. Not for me. Okay? So we have that. So let me just show you the OG. Now this is the old OG. I left this joint out in the rain and in snow over the winter when I first started making these. So this right now you're looking at a 5-year-old product right now for the Nintendo Switch. Okay, 5 years old, still rocking. All right, so we drop that in there. So that's how that used to work, right? You drop it in there. And the whole point is just that there was another arcade. I forgot the name of the company that was making it. But it was like a thin piece of MDF, You put it together with rubber bands and stuff like that, and it was cool. But I wanted to upgrade it and to make it something like this, so people was able to customize their own art, put it in there, and have like a cool little stand for the art. Remember, G1 Nintendo Switch, the kickstand wasn't great. You know what I'm saying? It was falling over. It wasn't a good angle. So people wanted, like myself, wanted a solution to it. So this was my contribution for and a solution for that. Okay, like I said, this is old, 5 years old, and this was in rain and it was in the snow. And look at it, there was no redoing of anything. Now don't be wrong, the glue is kind of offset. You can kind of see that it's separating there. I dropped this a good number of times, even down the stairs, and the joint is still kicking. I mean, you can see in the joints right here, it's coming apart. But again, this is also because I dropped this joint down the stairs and left it out in the weather. But even with that being said, it's still kicking, right? So I mean, I'm happy. You know, all of this little here where you can see it's coming apart. This is from dropping it down the stairs. But other than that, I'm very, very happy. The fact that this is also one of the first ones that I created from year one, and it's still doing what it do. So I'm very happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Can't complain. And then we have the next item. We have this one. Now I like this one because you was able to do two things. You was able to house it here within the regular landscape mode, and then you were also able to house it like this. Now there was not that many games, but there are a few games that you could play in this orientation. So that was one of the coolest things that I did with this system. And then of course it had the Nyko PXN, where this gives you access to the top buttons on the Joy-Con, and it gives you that little dial in the back. All right. Let me see. Is this the one that had? No. But normally I had one that had the a holder for the little joypeg, the joystick for the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controller. But you put your controller into here, and you have the extra little buttons. And like I said, for this particular one, you have the orientation. There are two different orientations that you could pick from. So, all right. And then, like I said, and this one was the Darkstalkers theme, one of another great games. I can knock some dust off of this. This is something. This right here is about 3 years in the making. I did not do much with this. Like I said, I only sold about 4 or 5 of these. It took way too much to make wood-wise, and it was way heavier, so the price went up for shipping. I ended up going with the other one. So this was a nice little gem for me. Now, this one here sold a lot. So this right here is the PXN. All right. So you slide the Nintendo Switch in. It perfectly fits. Now, I ended up cutting this bigger by accident for the G1, right? This is how long I had this from the original G1. This is the OLED screen right here. The OLED screen is a little bit bigger, but as you see, it still was good for this one because it still doesn't cut off any of the screen. So yeah, I sold a few of these in the OLED aspect. This is the PXN arcade stick. I use this because it kind of fit this profile of a Nintendo Switch that I already had. The one with the two icons, the double icons, Nyko inserts. So I ended up keeping the same body, and this fit exactly this pre-cut. So it kind of worked out for me. This has the 8 buttons. It also has a switch to switch to analog to digital, which makes this right here able to play almost every game that is on a Nintendo Switch. It had the turbo button. It had the micro button, which is you can preset a button configuration, and pressing that it would do it. You got the home. You got the plus and minus sharing option, which they call it here, and you had here an extra 2 buttons, which would be the thumbstick buttons, L3 and R3. This was a good option. I know some people are like, hey, you know, there's other arcade sticks better than this one. Sure, you can definitely have better buttons, but you can still upgrade these buttons if you wanted to. It's still upgradable. The stick you may not be able to upgrade unless you're doing some wire splicing, but the buttons here you can upgrade these. Other than that, for the purposes of Nintendo Switch and for this type of cabinet, you know, it kind of worked out. You know, and I sold a lot of these. Okay, this was my Nintendo only Switch. All of them have these little additional pegs that go into the Switch, so it's because it's powered by the Switch. All right, these are all random images from online. I just pretty much photoshopped together. Forgive it that this is also pretty dusty, but again, this is pretty old too. I would say that this is about 3 years in the making as well. I made this in 2019. I made that in 2018. I made this in 2016, 2015, I believe. And I made this one last week of June 2023, depending on when you're looking at this video. All right? And I had this and I just wanted to do something with it. So I just threw this together just because I could. So, yeah, man. Again, I just wanted to show off this new arcade option that I have. So, if you have one of these and you are a cabinet maker and you just want to, you know, just do something, there's some options. If you're a fan of Spawn and you like the video, appreciate you. If you're a fan of Nintendo Switch, you want to like the video, I appreciate you. If you are one of the 2,000 people that brought these cabinets from me, I appreciate you. You want to smash that like. And the way that this all worked was that you guys send me images that you want me to put onto your Nintendo Switch cabinet. I just photoshopped it and shipped it out, you know. And that is a legal disclaimer. I did not create these. I did not anything else. I did not advertise any specific art or anything else. I pretty much simply asked you guys what you want me to put on your cabinet. You send me some images and I made it happen for you. All right. But yeah, man, if you like this, if you want to create your own, hopefully I inspired some ideas. I have definitely done these arcades for a long time. I know that I did not copyright any of my designs, but arcades are very specific. You know, copyright laws are very specific. It's damn near hard. Even if I did the likeness, you know what I'm saying, that I looked into it. Because this particular arcade cabinet here, I created this shit a while ago. I mean, outdates any of the other cabinets when I used to create full arcade cabinets. And I used to create a lot of these small ones. At the time, in the arcade game, I was the only one creating these. I know that over the last 2 years, there's been people who took this design of mine and pretty much are reselling it, gutted out, just with the monitor and the buttons, and they're selling it for like $300, $400. And when I sold this, I sold it with the buttons, electronics, with the Raspberry Pi. At the time, it was a Raspberry Pi 3, then from 3 Bleed Plus, and then from there was the 4. Yeah, man, it had everything. It had control, the marquee, volume button for the this had the that's for the marquee light up. This one here was for the volume buttons, because there's actually a real TV inside. Ethernet cable for upgrading or online gaming. You had 2 extra USB ports if you wanted to add extra controllers or keyboard and mouse to modify. It had the power button. It had an external SD card reader that was the brains of all of this. It had Sanwa buttons. These are actually not Sanwa knockoffs. And you had everything from here. You had the mode button that transforms this from analog to digital. You had the coin button and the start button, and then of course you had your 8-button layout. You had some nice 5-watt speakers, pretty loud. I hard integrated them into the monitor itself, so they're being powered by the monitor. And of course, all this nice little art. Harley Quinn over there. This button is the IR sensor for controlling the color of the marquee. Yeah, man. Other than that, this was a personalized one. I was a big Joker fan. Why so serious? So yeah, man. I mean, all of these would not have come to be if it wasn't for me making these. And like I said, I tried to copyright these. And I looked into it. It's very specific. You know, even if you do one little extra cut here or you change the formation of it, it becomes something else. And you know, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that I was able to inspire so many over the years. I'm glad I was able to get a lot of these units out in people's homes. People was able to enjoy what I created, because the whole purpose of me creating these, because nobody was doing it at the time. And you know, now I was able to give these out to other people. A lot of YouTubers got a whole bunch of free arcades, also free Nintendo Switch stands for advertisements. I'm sure some of you probably seen other people do that. But overall, man, I appreciate all the years. I did not do YouTube channels back then. I stayed pretty local, selling on eBay at first, and then the Etsy store, and got a lot of advertisements. I do appreciate all the support. I do appreciate you watching this video, and I do especially thank the 2,000 plus people who ended up buying the Nintendo Switch cabinets, and close to 500 plus people who actually brought arcades from me. And they were fully loaded with games and everything else. Of course, I got blacklisted, cease and desist for selling these. But with that being said, man, I'm just happy that people out there were able to enjoy this, man. So for all those who create their own thing, you're out there doing your thing, creating whatever it is, from action figures, from custom pieces for kitchens and dining rooms and backyards, and pimping your rides, and you know, giving your man and a woman cave an upgrade, and just trying to keep on living or keep a piece of your childhood alive, you know, and just being a good collector, man. We all appreciate you. If it wasn't for people who like stuff like this, man, ain't none of the content creators will be out there. Ain't none of the customizations will be out there. None of the architects and engineers are out there. So for everybody out there, keep on dreaming, keep on creating, and keep on coming up with something new. All right. God bless. Take care.